Hey guys, Cam here from PhoneDog.com, and earlier today we attended Huawei's launch event, and the company announced its flagship P8 and the P8 Max. Now the Huawei P8 is an all-metal device, it has an all-metal chassis, and it's only 6.4mm thin. The company's really gone for the premium look and feel with this, and the black metal finish comes in 4 colours, 2 versions of gold and a grey and a black model. On the back there's also a 13 megapixel camera with a ton of amazing sounding features. Now on the bottom edge we have a micro USB port. On the right edge is the power and the volume button. And as you can see, it has a really flat design. On the top edge is a 3.5mm headphone jack. And if we look at the edges, you'll notice that they are chamfered and ever so slightly rounded. Now these have been designed this way to make it more comfortable to hold. So despite the fact that it's flat, it's supposedly a little round, so it doesn't feel too sharp and angular. Now on the front we have an 8 megapixel camera, designed to take the perfect selfies. And we also have a 5.2-inch 1080p display, and that's 424 pixels per inch on an LCD panel. Now what you will notice from looking at the front is that there's virtually no bezel. It's really thin frame around the display, and that gives it a very high screen to frame ratio. Inside, powering this device is an Octa-Core processor custom made by Huawei. There's also a 2680 mAh battery, and that's supposedly going to give you a full day of use even if you're a heavy user. And that's on Android 5.0 with a custom UI on top. It also has 3GB of RAM. Now the phone feels solid and light, and it looks good too, even if the design isn't entirely original. And from first impressions, there's really not very much to complain about. Software performance seems smooth, although I'm not too keen on the actual user interface too much, or at least not the icons. Now pricing for this phone is going to be different depending on which model you go for. The 16GB regular version is going to cost €499. That's about $530. Now if you want the premium 64GB model, that's €599 or $635. Now we also took a look at the P8 Max, which is pretty much the same phone, just blown up to a gargantuan size. It's huge. Almost every specification is the same, except that it has a 6.8-inch screen, again 1080p resolution, and it has a 4360 mAh battery. It's also ever so slightly thicker at 6.8mm thin. Now like I said, this thing is big, and it makes the Galaxy Note 4 look tiny. I've been Cam, I'm at PhoneDog_Cam on Twitter. You can follow me on there, ask me questions, give me suggestions, or just use the comments section down below, and I will see you again soon.